Hello, welcome back to Cars of Glasgow. I'm Thomas and today you join me with the Audi A4. Now in this video I'm going to give you a walk around tour of the car, show you the inside and get it out for a review on the test drive in it. Now, this particular model is finished in S-Line trim as well as adding the Navara blue paint. Now the S-Line trim is a little bit lower than the SE model, as well as adding some aesthetic pieces such as these alloy wheels. Then they've got the little bit of bumper design and some S-Line accoutrements on the interior. Now, let's start off with the front of the car. Now, this A4 came out about late 2015, early 2016. It got facelifted about 5 years ago. And it's kind of got the current Audi design language, just morphing a little bit slightly into 2025, but pretty current as of 24. We do have the split daytime run light up front. And as you can see, we've got silver trim around the very large Audi grille. We've got the four rings up front and these little slats in here that are unfortunately not functional, but they are in other models such as the Audi A1, as well as seen in these A4. And then down below we do have things like your radar cruise control is built into the bumper. Now as we work our way around to the side of the vehicle, we can see we've got the S-Line badge on the fender, these 5-spoke 19-inch alloy wheels. These are all in silver one trim colour piece, which is quite nice, but easy to clean as well. If you've got a car 5-spoke, nice and easy to keep clean. The blue paint is shining off, not too bad, and you can see the quite high shoulder line here. It's quite sharp looking. You know, the Audis are always a bit more Germanic and square off looking. And then this being an S-Line trim, not a black edition, we do have the chrome round the door here. As a little bit of classy touch, if you do want no chrome, go for the black edition Audi. Now it is 4 doors, you can see. This is a saloon model, and you can get in a van or an estate if you're looking for a little bit more practicality. Now we'll check out the rear of this A4. Now in the rear of the A4, we've got kind of a squared off blocky design. The facelift does add, we've got the dual exhaust tips, the chrome strips across. This one did note in the 35 badge, which is not a 3.5 litre, it is a 2 litre, but the way the Audi have done it, 35 is quite a low powered model. A4 badge, and then we've got the lights with little lines again, replicating what we've seen up front. Now, it is worth noting, this one, although looks like it does have dual exhaust tips, this one here on the left-hand side is real, but over on the right-hand side here, this exhaust tip is totally fake. It's just covered in plastic, and they've just designed it to make it look kind of symmetrical on the rear, but totally fake and redundant. And the tail lights in the car, as you can see, we have pulsating indicators that start from the inside and pulsate out. A little bit of a design quirk on the Audi A4. Now, the boot space in this car is about 460 litres of boot space, and you can open up in the fob, touch the fob twice. I quite like the fact the hinges are hidden into the side of the boot. They're not going to get in the way or impede anything if you put something in the boot and crush it. Quite squared off shape. We do have tie-down hooks, but not really too much else to say back here. You know, there's a little bit of storage under there because there is no spare tyre in this model. It kind of looks like there should be enough room for one. But yeah, overall not too bad space. It does have 40-20-40 split seats in the rear as well. So you join me up front in the cabin of the Audi A4. Now immediately it does feel like a quality premium product. Audi do know how to make a high-end interior feeling cabin. Feels well put together, quite solid, you know, like dash and the build quality materials used. We've got a blend of, you know, this kind of metal trim, the black plastic, and then we've got the black gloss plastic right in the centre, which is a nightmare for fingerprints, which I'm glad that's kind of phasing out, but it kind of show the age of the car. Same thing for the design of the dash here, with the vents in the middle, very 2015-16 Volkswagen Passat. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the car up. This car does have keyless start, foot in the brake, and that 2 litre comes to life. Now we do have a digital screen in front of the driver, as well as this touchscreen in the middle that is around 10 inches. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's quite fast and responsive, and you can go through various things, your widgets, as well as these shortcut keys on the right hand side to jump through things like your radio, etc. Now we do also have a nice physical button for the radio on the left hand side. It can switch the volume as well as between tracks, which is quite nice if you don't want to use a touchscreen. Audi have moved pretty much all the infotainment is touchscreen now, which is a bit of a shame. So it means you can't really drive and not take your eyes off the road to know maybe to put things in like a telephone or an address, whatever it may be. Of course, we do have voice commands, which takes me onto the steering wheel. On the left hand side of the steering wheel, we've got this little scroller that controls things in the centre here. I'm telling you, we're getting 34 miles per gallon. You can push right and left there, and that controls a little bit of the configuration on the screen. Push this big button view, that shrinks down the dials, and then this configuration gives you the map, which is probably my favourite feature of the Audi virtual cockpit. The right hand side, we do have a favourite button, call button, volume control, etc. Wipers on the right, indicators on the left, and cruise controls down on the left as well. I'm used to modern cars having it up on the steering wheel, and in this car we have that here as a separate stock. A couple of times I've hit that as an indicator by accident, but you can push it into set, you push it all the way towards the engine to disable it, and pull it towards you to engage the cruise control. Also has a speed limit button as well at the top of the stock. This being an S-Line but not really got any packs on it, it does have reach and rake adjustment, which is manual, as well as manually adjusted seats. On the right hand side, we do have things like your auto lights, full lights, and all that kind of good stuff, as well as your fog lights. Door card here, we do have your door lock, unlock, electric window switches, as well as mirror controls. And just below that, we do have the boot release and a little door pocket. Again, it's rubberized at the bottom, unlike the rear, but it is scratchy inside, so things are going to rattle around and make a noise in there. But there's enough room for a small 500ml bottle of water. So just below the climate vents here, we do have your heated seats, which are 3-stage. I do like the fact that climate controls, you can see this is dual zone. You're able to see the number changing within the knob there. And then we've got this little dial here that changes things like your fan speed, your aircon, our physical buttons as well. And they kind of light up as your fingers are going over it, so it's quite a nice little touch there. Drive select mode down here, realistically being a diesel, you're probably going to leave in auto or comfort mode, but you can engage dynamic or efficiency if you wish. Start, stop, defeat, traction control, parking sensors, and you can turn the screen off there at a touch of a button. 12-volt power outlet down below, as well as a USB-A charger. 2 cup holders, they've got little grips in them, and they're lit around the side. A little bit of storage in here, and keep things like your keys. It's quite small, so too small for like a phone or something. And then we've got your DSG gearbox here, all the way forward for reverse, and the camera engages. Higher spec models, you do get the 360 camera. This one's just got the rear camera. Now, we've also got your electronic parking brake down below, and then a little button on the left there with an A. Now, that's your automatic hold, so it just means you get a set of lights, things like that, prevents the car rolling away. We've got the aforementioned wheelie knob there. You can push it in and out to turn the volume on and off, or left and right to engage different tracks. And again, a little bit of storage here, which kind of useless. I've not really found a need of what you could fit in there. And then the armrest lifts up, and we've got a USB-C charger. It's lined with a little bit of rubber. And what I like about it is you can kind of give it a little bit of almost infinite, because it's ratchet. You can have all these various levels for your armrest. Lift it all the way up, and it does slide backwards and forward. One little pet peeve is it leaves it kind of exposed in there, so whatever you put in the centre armrest here is going to be all left open to the world. So there wouldn't be a Cars of Glasgow video without a glove box reveal. It is softly damped, lined with the fuzzy stuff, and it does have these little compartments here. You could put coins or things like that in there, which is a neat touch. And as you can see, things like your logbook and that can fit in there. So it is a not too bad size given the size of the car. And this car is fitted with the S-Line seats, which you can see I've got a blend of leather with the Alcantara material in the centre here. They're a little bit sporty, but this one being a kind of base S-Line trim, they are manually adjustable as well, so you can reach, rake, and tilt them a little bit. And then we do have some thigh support as well that reaches out, and you can extend that ever so slightly. So you join me in the back of the Audi A4. Now, I am 5'11" for reference. Knee room is pretty alright, sitting behind the passenger here. The seats are carved out, but there's no netting or cargo storage behind the seats, which is a bit of a shame. Headroom's okay, I've got an inch or two above me on the outer seat. As you can probably see, the centre here is quite a high transmission hump. You don't really want to sit in there for a long journey. So in the middle seat, I'm 5'11", head is immediately touching the head liner of the back of the car. Knee room's not fantastic. You're kind of spread akimbo here because of the high transmission hump. I really wouldn't recommend having 3 adults back here for any length of journey. It's just not that comfortable. Now, if it's for 2, that's going to be okay. And we do have some climate vents, 12-volt power outlet, as well as you can adjust the temperature back here. And we also have a little armrest. However, this car does not have rear cup holders. because whoever spec'd this car originally didn't pay for the cup holder option, which is like an extended storage pack Audi offer. A little bit mean that Audi don't give you cup holders, because there's cars of various price points that give you your cup holders as standard. This one does not have it. As I mentioned when I was at the boot, we do have a 40-20-40 split here, so if you want to fold the middle seat you can. We do have ISOFIX points on the outer bits of the seats, which is nice and easy to capture. And then the door material isn't too bad. It's pretty similar to what you see up front, with some black gloss plastic, metal trim, this kind of Alcantara suede material, electric windows, and then the inside of the door pockets are not lined with fuzzy stuff, unfortunately, so it's kind of scratchy, just kind of what we've seen on a lower model, which is a bit of a shame because things are going to roll around in there, make a noise, scratch up, which is a bit of a shame. Alright, you join me inside the Audi A4. Now, what I want to say straight off the bat is you've got good visibility out front, A-pillars are not too thick, and yet overall you get a good size on the space of the car out on the road. Then it helps it's not a huge vehicle. Now this is the front wheel drive model, so get up and go can be a little bit wheel spinny depending if you're at an angle. On a street joining a road. I've had that a couple of times with my experience with this car. Turning is okay as well. I'm quite happy with how it drives. It's quite a good everyday vehicle, just a commuter vehicle. You're not buying this for ultimate driving experience, especially not a diesel automatic. If you're looking for kind of a comfortable cruiser, just to do the job A to B, throw your family in, then this does not too bad. Now, the power plants for this A4 B9.5 are all 2-litre 4 cylinders in various states of tune, varying from about 148 horsepower right up to 261 horsepower for the 45 TFSI variant. And yeah, they're both either diesel or petrol, all 2 litres. This one is a 35 TDI, so it's the lower end version of the diesels, and 0 to 60 is about 8.2 seconds. It's quite slow by modern day standards. You're looking at about 161 brake horsepower and about 370 newton meters of torque with this engine through the DCT automatic transmission. Put the foot down, and that's us at 30. So yeah, it's not the fastest vehicle on the road for sure. If you're just looking for a commuter vehicle, it's probably fine, but I would maybe go for the 40 TDI just to get that extra little bit of bump in power. You're just over 200 brake horsepower with that variant, and the 0 to 60 time drops a little bit as well. Now, the advantage of the 35 TDI is you can get over 60 miles to gallon claimed when you're out on motorway journeys and things like that. Today I'm getting around 34 miles to gallon, which has been mostly around town, some back roads, as well as a little quick 5-minute jaunt on the motorway. Realistic of how I drive day to day, so that's how I'm experiencing 34 miles to gallon, which is not super impressive considering it is a low tuned 2-litre diesel. I was expecting probably mid-40s, 50, probably mid-40s realistically, but yeah, 34 seems a bit poor. I do have the heated seats on, and it is around 7 degrees at time of filming. So in conclusion, the Audi A4 is a comfortable, well-built vehicle. It doesn't drive as well as, say, something like a rear-wheel drive 3 Series, and it certainly doesn't have that kind of glitzy cabin that the current C-Class does. It does look a little bit dated inside. But if you're looking for a well-made, semi-practical family vehicle, and you quite like the look of it, check out the A4. Also comes in the van if you are looking for a little bit more practicality, say for example carrying dogs or something like that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel below, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next video. Ciao!